I've already played 100 hours of Monster Hunter World in 2024, and here's the journey of how we got there, and at the very end, the scoring, what I actually gave the game as a review. So if you want to skip ahead to that, and if you want to avoid spoilers, go ahead over there. There should be a timeline thing in the description and also in the timeline. So, see you there. This is the journey of how I got from 0 to killing Fatalis blind without guides in 100 hours. Or a little bit over that, but you know, that's besides the point. First of all, we made a new character. We made a cat also that was called Freddy Ferocious. He's important. Then we tried out some weapons. By some weapons, I mean we tried a charge blade and I didn't like it. So I went back to dual blades, which is, you know, always been my favorite weapon. Well, the last time I played anyways, which was on release, right? So things might have changed. We basically breezed through all of the initial bosses, including Anjanath and the little yellow sausage and all of these other bosses. We went on to Zorah Magdaros eventually. Zorah Magdaros is, in my opinion, probably one of the worst bosses in the game. We will get into that maybe a little bit later. Maybe I'll give you a short little top 5 worst bosses in the game and best bosses in the game later on. But overall, Zorah Magdaros was fucking terrible. Okay, that was a terrible boss. Then I had to do that fight again in high rank, which again was terrible. And I tried out different weapon types. I tried out blast weapons, which were, in my opinion, really fun idea on dual blade. But once I figured out how it actually worked, it wasn't that great anymore, to be honest. Once you get to the final stages of the base game, you have to fight all the Elder Dragons again. Yo! What? So Nergigante, which I think is a great fight. Kushala, which I think is in the top 3 worst bosses in the game. Maybe in video gaming history. What a pile of shit. Teostra was also a fun fight. Valhazak, not so great of a fight, but also not super terrible. And then also Xenojiva, which I also thought was mid fight, okay? And that took me around 17-18 hours to get through the entire base game, killing all of the Elder Dragons, and then moving on to Iceborne, which I had never played before. So Iceborne started off kind of rough, because I think the change of the gear levels, so from base game to Iceborne, the jump of power is pretty significant, which I thought was quite odd. Like, the bosses basically had double the health all of a sudden, and your character had half the damage, kind of, you know, at least comparatively. Eventually killed Brown, Tobikadachi, and the Cum Cannoneer. That guy is great. I like that guy. Barrius was also really fun. I thought it was a great fight, although a little bit too fast, but, you know, once you get started on the dual blade slide attack, that shit is fucking amazing. He's gonna be mad now, though. That was sick. Then we delved further into Iceborne, and obviously eventually we had to chase down Velkhana. That was an experience, because we got cucked twice before we could actually kill the boss. And that was probably the hardest boss up to that point. Although we did beat her second try. So it wasn't super hard yet, but definitely harder than the bosses before, which was a cool fight, although it was kind of annoying how much range focus that boss had. But overall, still much better than the fucking Kushala fight or Zorah Magdaros or anything like that. So it was an okay fight. Then we basically started doing the last few dragons and fights before the real hard fights began. That started with Namiel, which I actually loved. That was a great fight. And also the Nergigante fight, which then led to, again, one of the worst fights in the game. What the fuck? I can't even pronounce the name. Shalala. And that was just, I don't know who thought that was a good idea to put in the game. It was basically just as boring and mind-numbing as the Zorah fight, but with a big-ass dragon instead, and without any cannons and ballista or whatever. So that was also definitely the top 5 worst fights in the game. And it was so awfully long and obnoxious to do And honestly, the entire game almost got 1 point deducted entirely, okay? That's how bad that fight was. Then we got into the entry of the Guiding Lands, which was initially I actually liked. But the more Guiding Lands you do, the less you like it. I feel like we'll get into that later, but I'll just say this for now. I think Guiding Lands is a major minus point for Iceborne. I'm just gonna say that now. First, we destroyed a unicorn, which, well, it first destroyed me for a while, to be honest, until we got enough lightning resistance. And then Rajang, which violated me as well. But honestly, after a while, that fight really grew on me. I actually really liked Rajang, and also even Furious Rajang. Both of those fights were actually really fun. And then when we did the upgraded Elder Dragon fights, the upgraded Valhazak, whatever the fuck that was, it was also pretty terrible, to be honest. Not a fun fight. And you know, at that point I was like, surely there's not going to be a worse fight than Shavala Shalala, or Dora Magdaros, or Kushala. You're right, there's no way there's a worse fight than that. Big damage. Oh my god, no! He moved me into the shit! I was wrong. There turns out the worst fight in the game is called Raging Brachydios, and is, in my opinion, so bad that the game would literally just be better off by removing this boss. Why the fuck do you have a boss that punishes you for hitting him? Like, you get punished, he leaves off like a full-on explosive slime puddle whenever you hit any of his weak parts. Yeah, there's like a mechanic to it, whatever. I hated every second of fighting that. Every fucking second of fighting it, I hated it. And honestly, I think the last phase of the fight, where, you know, where the explosive shit doesn't come out of his head and hands anymore, was way better than the rest of the fight. So yeah, I hated that fight. Literally the worst fight in the entire game, in my opinion. Terrible. And yeah, I like the Raging Rajang or Furious Rajang or whatever it was a lot more. That fight was actually really fun again, although I think that's borderlining on speed levels that the game is not really designed around, but I obviously know there's also tempered versions and stuff, so it definitely gets harder than that. Then we were slowly approaching the 90-hour mark by that point, because I was grinding many different sets, because every set that I made turned out to be god-awful. And, you know, eventually we needed to make better sets. So, yeah, it took a while to grind all of that. And grinding the Guiding Lands for bones and stuff. Again, Guiding Lands has a lot of problems, and we'll get into that in a second. And we did Safi Jiva, the quest version, the Elatrion quest version, because I didn't want to grind out different sets for the Elatrion fight. Although, again, you can break its head, I get it, but, you know, fuck it. We just did the quest version so we can actually move on to Fatalis. We can actually beat the game in 100 hours. Well, turns out that fight is crazy hard, especially if you have trash gear like me. So, I grinded a little bit further, just, you know, at master rank, whatever, 70. There's just so many things you can upgrade, you know. So, I just got the most I can get at that level without grinding too much. And at around 105 hours, we started to face Fatalis. Properly, anyways. And let's just say that fight was an experience. I think the beginning, the first few tries were really frustrating, because the boss basically hits you with his little toenail and one-shots you almost. But after a while, you get used to it, you get used to the patterns, and the fight becomes much more enjoyable. But with my gear, and, well, my limited amount of experience in the game, killing the boss of that scale is really hard. So it turns out I almost don't have the damage to properly do this fight. But, well, you know what? I'll just roll the last few minutes of the Fatalis fight, just so you know how tight that actually was. Okay, so here you can see my full setup. As you can see, death row weapons aren't very high tier weapons, but it's about as good as it's gonna get. Doesn't even have purple sharpness. So it's not a great setup. Azure Age and Silver Rathalosed, which stack on top of each other with Garuga Greaves, Wormsbane Charm, and Temporal Vitality Mantle. And as you can see here, my stats. So we went all through this. We don't even have maxed out Health Boost or Divine Blessing. because I just didn't have any slots to do enough damage otherwise. So, and we got one fire resistance gem just so we can get the level 20 or 20 stack fire resistance so we don't get affected by burn. Fortify Marathon Runner Clutch Club boost with Part Breaker and Heavy Artillery on the Vitality Mantle. But as you can see, this is a terrible fucking setup, but well, here it goes. Actually, Hunt. You want this? Where is he going, man? We have a barrel. Oh god. What is this? Okay, that's just unfair. That's just unfair. I couldn't have gotten there anyways, no matter what I would have done. Okay. I need to tenderize his ass again too. I thought he would do a big one. He's not doing a big one. Okay, he's going down. That's actually good. Shouldn't hit me. Good, we got a leg tenderize. I mean, it's better than no tenderize, you know? It is what it is. I'm gonna get hit for that. Heal. Heal, 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 heal. Oh. Okay, fuck it, we don't go on the head. This is better right now. Okay, we can always stay on his dick when he does that. Okay, he's coming down. Okay, that's good too. Oof. Let's just get that heal in. Scout again on his dick. Okay. I don't know if that hits. It does twice somehow. Let's tenderize his ass. Let's not get greedy now. Let's not get greedy now. Okay, that's good. We can do that, I think. Move, 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 move. I think we can do it. Let's wet it up right now so we have it back. He's gonna go back in the middle, I think. We have another binder, don't we? Which one? Yeah, we do have another binder. Okay. That would be really nice to binder him now, because he's so close. Stop shooting me. Do it! Oh my god, I'm so mad. I got ahead of myself there. That didn't hit. That doesn't hit me? Okay. Sure, that's bullshit, but I'll take it. Okay, I got a little greedy there. I think that's fine, actually. That was close. What is he doing? I can't see. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's go here. Surely it doesn't hit up here. Okay, we're fine. Let's get stamina. We need a dash juice desperately. Eat it! Why is she not eating it? Okay, here we go. Okay, maybe we get that little heal here. Oh boy. It doesn't let me recover this thing. I need to get close now. Oh, here we go. Question is, can we ball bang his ass again? Okay, that's good. Okay, he's wall bangable now. Stop. I don't know what happens if he's in the air. We'll try it. It works, kind of. Better than not at all, I guess. We can do it again, actually. Can I do it again? That didn't hit me, man. What? Okay, here we go. Come on, die. He's not dead. How is he not dead? What, another one? How is there another one? I might die to this, I'm so far. Get that one in. Going down now, we are full. Okay. Okay, that's not good. Okay. Nothing I can do about that. I don't have any potions left. I couldn't have done anything about that. It's fine, maybe? We just need to beat the timer now. So we just do dash juice and heal, probably, right? Get out. We don't have time for anything else. Get down there. Ain't no way I'm eating. What? I have 1 minute. No? I think so. We just have to send it now, I don't think. What is that? How is that hitting me? That has never hit me when I was there. I'm dead. Fuck, I'm choking! That was so shit! What? Okay, okay. He's probably like 1 HP. Fuck it, we just go. We go. Rolling Ballista? Rolling Ballista might not be in time, is it? Do you have 31 minutes time or 30 on the dot? Rolling Ballista, you need to carry my ass right now. Right fucking now, you need to carry my ass. Run. Run. Okay, I can't now. Don't choke. Okay, that's fine, I think. Turn! I'm free! Okay, so here is the review. For the ones who just want to see the score, I will put it at a high 7, bordering onto an 8, like a 7.9 or 7.8. And I'll tell you what the game needs to do to be an 8. would need to do, and that's very simple actually. The only just removing the clutch claw and tenderizing would put it at an 8. I think the clutch claw and the tenderizing stuff, specifically the tenderizing stuff, but the clutch claw in general I think is terribly clunky and annoying like this. Because, aha, that's his head. That's where I was aiming. Dude, I fucking hate this so much. So just by removing the clutch claw and tenderizing mechanic, I think it would be an 8 already. Some other smaller problems in my opinion are the UI is very clunky. I also played in mouse and keyboard, which is obviously makes it even worse. Shortcuts, for example, needs 2 buttons instead of just 1 for some reason. I don't know, overall navigating the UI sometimes feels annoying and just obtrusive in a way. I guess it's kind of made for a controller more so than a keyboard, but again, I didn't play on a controller, so I have to say that. On top of that, I do think the guiding lands and everything that comes with it is so terrible. I think the gathering is the worst part. I think gathering the bones and the ores is really bad. Then you have killing the monsters that you've already killed before, or tempered versions or whatever that you could also just do in an investigation. And you need to farm 5 hours to even unlock the same monsters again, kind of, you know, that's my point anyways. Same thing with the loot. The loot in the guiding lands is boring as fuck. You know, previously you cut off a tail off a monster and you get its tail often, right? Or you break the head and then there's a chance after the quest that you get a certain item from the head or whatever. All of that is kind of gone in the guiding lands, and it's just you get the same boring material over and over from the monster. It's just, I think it's overall not a good time. I do enjoy having like an end game feature like that. We can keep grinding, but the implementation of it is really bad in my opinion. And yeah, I think those two specifically, the clutch claw and the guiding lands, are my biggest downsides. I think if you had a better end game system, remove the clutch claw, had better UI, and maybe a little bit faster combat system that gives you a little bit more control over things, it would be a 9. So with those things out of the way, it could actually eventually get into the masterpiece territory. So it has the potential to be there. But as it is right now, I would say it's a 7. Which is pretty fucking good, by the way. And it's a high 7 too. So, but it would need some changes to go even higher, right? But that's obviously not going to happen. Hopefully Wilds does that differently. I think overall... Also, actually, one thing that I did forget was some boss fights were pretty terrible, terribly designed for certain archetypes of weapons. Ushala is a good example of that. Raging Brachydios is a good example. Like, that kind of make you not want to play melee weapons. And I played a melee weapon, it was just so annoying, and it just felt like if I had a ranged option, you know, some tool that makes me shoot something, it would make those fights way better. I didn't like those fights. Same with the story siege, Stora Magdaros, and the Shara Ijvalda, whatever the name is. Also terrible fight. But overall, I still think it has one of the best RPG progression systems I've ever seen, with how the weapons progress, with how your armor progresses and looks over time. It's so cool. Like one of the best designs ever. The combat overall is also really good and interactive. I do enjoy and not having to lock onto your monster and rather having real action combat like that. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I think the world building is amazing. It's super immersive. The graphics are good. The music is good too, although most of the time I didn't listen to it, to be honest. Even the gathering of stuff is fine, and getting rare materials feels good, and just upgrading stuff in general is a great fucking experience. And also, the ways you can obtain stuff outside of just that, out of the specific things, like the melding stuff, I thought was really cool. The Steamworks, on the other hand, I thought was overkill. I think you didn't need the Steamworks, they were just annoying. But the Argosy and the melding stuff and the Trail Raiders, that's cool. I also like that. Also, no bullshit in this game. And last point, and this is kind of important because I got the game pretty much for like a 66% off because it was a sale on Steam. It's an old game, right? So it's like, it's been a couple of years since Iceborne even released. So I would highly recommend just waiting for a sale to come around so you can get the game literally like half the price or even more than that. So that's also a suggestion that I have. And overall, I would suggest the game. I've played 100 hours of Monster Hunter World, so you don't have to, but you probably should. It's a good game. And I would highly recommend trying it out if you're into RPGs and cool weapons and monsters and stuff. It's a good experience, so I would recommend it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you want to see other games being reviewed like this in this format, please let me know in the comments. And all support, as always, appreciated. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.